I'm going to be talking about getting out of our comfort zone. In 2006, I was volunteering at Young Adults Church, and as I saw this tall, blonde, skinny, tan, super attractive woman come in with her friends, and I was like, whoa, very enamored. And fortunately, I had the whole service there was a service to kind of, get my confidence up or build some momentum. And afterwards, she was talking to some friends, and so I went over and kind of joined the conversation and started talking to her. And a year later, we were engaged, and 2 years later, we were married. And 14 years after that, we've got 2 kids and a great life together. And so that's the story of how I met my wife. And I got out of my comfort zone to go meet her. So I'm going to be talking about how you can get out of your financial comfort zone. Number one is start somewhere. So even though I was shy or had a hard time, I had a career in financial services, so I was used to talking to people. So I had some background talking to people. And so similarly, you want to start somewhere. So maybe it's a monthly savings plan, maybe it's reading a book to get more knowledgeable on a topic, or maybe it's starting, to start to pay down some debt. So start somewhere, and you can build momentum off of that versus just staying where you are. And the next point is have you worked in a certain area? So maybe you worked for a software company, and I'm willing to bet your portfolio is probably overweight technology. And the reason for that is called the familiarity bias, or the illusion of knowledge bias, where because you worked in an area, you feel like you have an insider knowledge or a comfort zone with that area, so you're willing to take more exposure to that area. Well, what can easily happen is that you're overweight and you see more ups and downs in that area. And so a way to overcome that and get out of your comfort zone is to look at all the companies that have gone bankrupt in that area, or look at periods where how much that area has dropped in really bad periods, and that'll get you out of your comfort zone. I see this in financials, I see this in industrials, I see this all over the place. Did you inherit your childhood home from your parents? Or maybe an uncle gave you some shares in a company and you're still holding on to them? That's called the endowment bias or legacy bias, and it's something you're holding on to because of some emotional attachment to them, right? And what question I'd ask yourself to get out of this bias or comfort zone is, if I had $1 million today, would I buy $1 million worth of IBM shares, or would I buy this house with this $1 million? Quite often the answer is no. Well, every day you hold on to those investments, you're rebuying your portfolio. So think of it in that way. So if I had the same amount of money, would I still have this? No, I wouldn't. Well, then you should look at changing where you are and getting out of that comfort zone. Pain now, pleasure later. There's Bird on a Wire. They're a great parenting resource. And so they said, with young kids, you can go through some pain now and then have pleasure later. So our kids around 4 o'clock, they want snacks. Well, if we give them snacks, at 5 o'clock, they're not going to eat their dinner. So if we have a little bit of pain at 4 o'clock and get them through dinner, they're going to eat their dinner. Similarly with your finances, maybe it's having a difficult conversation with a child who keeps asking for money. So have some pain now, pleasure later for them. You're going to help them become more financially independent. Maybe it's setting up a budget. So there's a little bit of pain to get it going, but that's going to give you pleasure down the road knowing you're in financial good shape. So I hope you like those tips. If you have any more for me, would love